Hello mariners, this is Captain Prashant Kulkarni again, and we are going to speak about ballast water management. This is the fifth part, D2 standards, and we are talking about chemical disinfection. And you can see in the next page, we are already cleared the mechanical and physical part of the ballast water treatment, and this is the third and the last part of the ballast water treatment, which is chemical. In chemical, there are different types of chemicals used, which we are going to discuss. Basically, what we are talking here right now is the theoretical processes by which it is done. Among them is hydrogen peroxide, biocides, electrochlorination, ozone, electrocatalyst, chlorine dioxide, advanced oxidation, chlorine hypochlorite, and bromine hypobromite. We will discuss one after another in this video, and let us look further. Chemical method of disinfection, water purification is the process of removing undesirable chemicals, biological contaminants, suspended solid and gases from water. Biocides are disinfectants which have been tested to potentially remove invasive organisms from ballast water. So here we are going to use a lot of biocides. Biocide used for ballast water disinfectant purpose must be effective on marine organism and also readily degradable or removable to prevent discharge water from becoming toxic in nature. We have to give a certain amount of biocide. It should not be excess also. Okay. So this is the basic important thing which is coming up. On the basis of function, biocides are mainly divided in two types: oxidizing biocides and non-oxidizing biocides. Oxidizing biocides are generally disinfectants such as chlorine, bromine, and iodine used to inactivate organisms in ballast water. This type of disinfectant acts by destroying organic structure on the microorganisms such as cell membrane or the nucleic acid. And the next one which is coming up is the non-oxidizing biocides are type of disinfectants which when used interfere with reproductive, neutral or metabolic function of organism. Non-oxidizing agents, the normal non-oxidizing agents are acrolein, amines, chlorinated phenolics, copper salts, organic sulfur compound, quaternary ammonium salts. In many cases, oxidizing agents are not effectively biocides. Non-oxidizing agents are then applied. The list of technologies which are used, they are: number one is we are injecting hydrogen peroxide. The name of the company which has tested and done it is Eletron Research Inc. Biocide is done by Albion Marine. Electrochlorination is done by WartSilla Aquarius. Ozone is done by NK03 Blue Ballast 2. Electrocatalyst is Erma first. Chlorine dioxide is Ecoclor and Pureline. Advanced oxidation is done by Calgon carbon. Chlorine hypochlorite is done by Sunrai marine environment, and bromine hypobromite is Envirocleanse. As the complete technologies are very developing in the developing stage still, I would say yes, they are very much used, but presently all of them are being used on the ships, and everybody is testing a new technology depending on the run of the ship, depending on the cost of the technology which is being used. So let us discuss one after another. First one is hydrogen peroxide is an oxidizing agent. Hydrogen peroxide has been used for water disinfectant for a very long time. How does it work? It is releasing oxygen which kills microorganisms and other contaminants in the water. Hydrogen peroxide is an oxidizing biocide that effectively kills organisms in ballast water by breaking down the cell walls and disturbing the metabolic process. It is often used in combination with other chemicals such as peracetic acid to enhance its efficiency. This method is advantageous because it decomposes into water and oxygen, leaving no harmful residues. Now, what is harmful residue? Now, there are few terms which you have to remember which are used. The one is total residual oxidant. Total residual oxidant is the measure of amount of oxidizing agent present in ballast water. Oxidizing agents such as chlorine and hydrogen peroxide are commonly used in ballast water treatment to kill harmful aquatic organism and pathogen before the water is discharged into the environment. This TRO is used as an indicator of effectiveness of the treatment process, and the level of TRO in the treatment water is used to ensure that treatment system is working properly and the discharge is safe for the environment. Effective disinfection. Hydrogen peroxide has long known for its disinfection properties. It is like ultimate gem zapper. When applied correctly, it can kill off algae, fish, invertebrates, plankton, and even those of pesky bacteria. Lot of bacteria are getting killed. Organic destruction doesn't just disinfect, it also breaks down organic material. Reduced biological oxygen demand. Now, this is biological oxygen demand is another word which will be used very commonly, and this is one which one has to remember. Biological oxygen demand. There are few words which will be coming again and again, so you have to understand their new terminology. Biological oxygen demand is the water's hunger level. High BOD means water is hungry and demanding more oxygen. It wants more oxygen. Hydrogen peroxide helps reduce BOD, keeping the water chill and well fed. Cost effectiveness. Now the cost is one of the important thing. So how good is it? Okay, then we have to say that this is quite cost effective. Every technology, every equipment which is coming up has got its own plus and minus points. Environmental savior by preventing initial contamination by invasive species. We are saving ecosystem from economic and ecological chaos. Remember the zebra mussel debacle in the Great Lakes? Yeah, let's avoid that. Next is the biocides. Biocides we have already spoken, and there are two types of biocide which we have talked: oxidizing biocide and non-oxidizing biocides. Application in ballast water treatment is chemical disinfection. Biocides are added to ballast water to disinfect it, ensuring that invasive species and pathogen are neutralized before the water is discharged. Combination with other methods. Often biocides are used in conjunction with other treatment methods such as filtration and ultraviolet treatment to enhance effectiveness. Normally, in any ballast water treatment, number one is filtration has to be done, and they are using not a single technology, but they are using at least two technologies. Either they have a UV treatment system, and also they are using biocides, either oxidizing or non-oxidizing biocides, and it is getting treated. Non-oxidizing biocides are disinfectants that interfere with the reproduction, which we have already discussed. And what is the difference of oxidizing? The oxidizing biocides are generally disinfectant such as chlorine, bromine and iodine, on which we had discussed earlier. Now here you see that the biocides are kept in the picture, and they are getting sucked and then they are injected in the ballast water system. The next method which is there is chlorination. Electrochlorination cell. In electrochlorination cell, the water passes through an electrochlorination cell. Inside this cell, water molecules and salt in seawater undergo decomposition according to their nifty equation. H2O plus NaCl plus energy is equal to NaClO. The sodium hypochlorite molecule produced here is the active ingredient that disinfects the ballast water, effectively neutralizing any microorganism that manages to slip through the initial filter. Now, this sodium hypochlorite molecule which is produced, that is the one which is disinfecting. Rectifier power, the electrochlorination cell are powered by a rectifier. Think of rectifier as the heart of the system. It feeds energy to the cell much like heart pumps blood to the vital organ. If the rectifier stops working, the whole system goes into a metaphorical cardiac arrest. In case the rectifier is not working, everything stops. Next is we have a TRO sensor. TRO, as I told you, is total residue oxidant. This system is to purify water amount of hypochlorite present, which is measured by TRO sensors. There are a lot of sensors which are coming up. These sensors play a crucial role. If the malfunction or break, system won't function optimally. Safety and redundancy. High level of redundancy are designed into the system. Multiple pumps, blows and TRO units so that single point of failure are minimized. Safety features ensure that the system is safe to have on board a vessel. This is an electrolysis system. There are a lot of videos which are coming up. This is the basic, the principle. If you want to further study, you should see the individual video for every system which are there on YouTube. And this is a complete system which has been given for training on a ship in the institute. So a person can sit down and study. The fourth system is ozone. Ozone is a colorless oxidizing biocide with pungent smell and formed naturally in the Earth's atmosphere. It has a very unstable property and when injected in water decomposes rapidly. It has been found that ozone is one of the most powerful and fastest oxidizer which oxidizes bacteria present in water like organic material and viruses. Okay, so we have an ozone generator. An ozone generator is a machine that generates ozone gas by using oxygen from atmosphere. Okay, how is it used? Energy from an electric discharge field is used along with ambient air to flow through the ozone cells responsible for converting and increasing the amount of ozone gas. The ozone gas is then injected into the ballast water by an injection unit. This ozone gas dissolves, decomposes and reacts with other chemicals and kill organisms present in water, thus making ballast safer to discharge in any ocean water. Onboard ozone generator of the ship extracts nitrogen from the ambient air. We are using nitrogen also. Concentration of oxygen contained. Subsequently, this oxygen is directed through a high voltage and high frequency electric field to produce ozone. The ozone is subsequently introduced into incoming ballast water where it serves to oxidize and render harmless any potential harmful aquatic organism. A portion of this organism, particular bacteria and viruses present in the ballast water are directly eradicated upon contact with the ozone. The remaining organisms are eliminated or rendered harmless through the chemical reaction of the ozone with naturally occurring seawater components, resulting in the formation of hydrobromous acid, a potential and efficient disinfectant of its own right. This is how exactly the ozone system works for ballasting and deballasting. The fifth system which is coming up is Electrocatalyst. This is where things get electrifying. The system generates hydroxyl radicals which are like tiny charge ninjas. These radicals react with microorganisms, effectively zapping them out of existence. The process involves passing an electric current through seawater, creating hypochlorite and other active substances. These hydroxyl radicals are like the ultimate microbial hitman. They neutralize any remaining organism. You can see the system which is used normally, and this is for the electrocatalyst which is being given. You have the ballast pump from chest, and how it is going outboard is mentioned here. Okay, and we have the EUT unit. The EUT unit which is there is electrocatalyst unit. Okay, parts of electrocatalyst is the control unit, the EUT unit, the sensors and the sewage tank. These are the systems which become part. I am just going with the principle, I am not going into the individual parts. After the sensors, we have the sewage tank, and finally the electrical distribution board. The next is the chlorine dioxide. The chlorine dioxide or ClO₂ works as an oxidizing agent. Here is a breakdown of its mechanism. Oxidation: chlorine dioxide reacts with various cellular components of microorganisms including cell membrane. By stealing electrons from these components, it disrupts the molecular structure, leading to the breakdown of the cell. Disruption of nutrient transport: unlike some biocides that interfere with metabolic processes, chlorine dioxide disrupts the transport of nutrients across the cell wall, effectively starving the microorganism. Rapid action: it acts quickly and effectively against the wide range of pathogens including bacteria, viruses and fungi. Minimum residual: chlorine dioxide breaks down harmful byproducts, making it environmental friendly and safe for various applications. The seventh process is also known as AOP, Advanced Oxidation Processes. In broad sense, refers to a set of chemical treatment produced designed to remove organic material in the water and wastewater by oxidizing through reaction with hydroxyl reducents. In real world application of wastewater treatment, however, this term usually refer more specifically to subset of chemical processes that employ ozone, hydrogen peroxide and ultraviolet light. In advanced oxidation process, they are not using one principle, they are using two or three principles. They are using ozonation also, hydrogen peroxide also, and also or maybe ultraviolet light. So the advanced oxidation process basically means you are using multiple oxidation processes. Okay, one such type of process is called chemical oxidation. Advanced oxidation process are used in ballast water treatment plant to effectively remove organic pollutants and pathogens. Here how it works: generation of reactive species involve generation of highly reactive species like hydroxyl radicals. Oxidation of contaminants: these reactive species oxidize and break down organic pollutants, pathogen and other contaminated present in the ballast water with harmless substances like water and carbon dioxide. Combination and other treatment: often AOP are combined with the treatment method like filtration and UV disinfectants to enhance overall efficiency and ensure comprehensive treatment. The AOP or the advanced oxidation process, these reactive species are the strongest oxidant that can be applied to water and can virtually oxidize any compound present in the water matrix, often at a diffusion control reaction speed. Okay, hydroxyl radicals are produced with the help of one or more primary oxidants. See, this is what we said before. In general, when applying in a proper tune condition, AOPs can reduce the concentration of contaminants with several hundreds of ppm to less than 15 ppb, and therefore significantly brings down COD and TOC down. The total residual content which is there is brought down, and this is the latest treatment process. The eighth is chlorine hypochlorite. The chlorine hypochlorite ballast treatment system is used to treat ballast water on ships. Okay, we are using the chlorine hypochlorite system. Sodium hypochlorite is generated through electrolysis of seawater and added to ballast water. This infects the water by killing or neutralizing harmful organism. Before discharging, any remaining chlorine is neutralized to ensure it does not harm the local marine environment. They have to check for both the things. The total residual oxidant and biological oxygen demand has to be checked before they pump out. Something very similar to chlorine hypochlorite, you have bromine hypochlorite also. The ballast water treatment is crucial for preventing the spread of invasive aquatic species. One method involves using bromine-based chemicals. This is called hydrobromous acid and hydrobromide ion, which are effectively disinfectant. When bromine is added to water, it forms hydrobromous acid, a powerful disinfectant that can kill a wide range of pathogens, including bacteria and viruses. This makes it a suitable option for treating ballast water to ensure it meets international standards. Generation of hydrobromous acid, because there are usually bromic acid with the density of 50 to 70 mg per liter existing in natural seawater. An oxidation reaction between hydrochlorous acid and bromine ion will produce hydrobromous acid. Electrolysis process, jointly named germicidal agent TRO. Chloramine and bromamine are also germicidal agents and will generally consider that the bacterial action are much weaker than that of hydro with chlorine dioxide, and also for bromine dibromide, which is generated through electrolysis of the seawater. Neutralization: before discharging the treated ballast water, any remaining chlorine is neutralized to make sure that it does not harm the local marine environment. Okay, nitrogen supersaturation. Sometimes nitrogen is added and this is put in the ballast tank. What does nitrogen do? And the nitrogen will basically make sure that the corrosion is reduced. So at times a little bit of nitrogen is also added, which will help to make sure that the ballast tank remain good. And the next is the units of ballast water system. Electrolysis unit, and what is the function is side stream electrolysis. Neutralization unit, dechlorination during deballasting. Filter unit, filtration during ballasting. System control unit, ballast water treatment system controls and monitoring. Sampling unit is treated water sampling. For this video, if you like my video, please subscribe and do watch and give your valuable comments in the end. Thanking you very much. Captain Kulkarni.